Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Well, we want you to stay tuned as always. We have two different sets of people here with us today to share about their ministries and about their business and what they do. It's so interesting to meet later in this show. If you're a business owner or if you're a pastor or if you're someone who really just needs some guidance, we have a gentleman with us later, Randy Miller, who is going to be talking to us about life as a business coach and also a life coach. Business and life coach is just a combination that you're going to want to hear more about, and we're going to talk to him a little bit. But before we do, we have an organization and a ministry that's brand new to us here at Bay Focus. And I'm so excited for their name because I think I want to be one of them. It's called Women of God Tampa Bay. Yeah. I love that name. Tying in that Tampa Bay is represented by some women of God that are here plugged into this community. Yeah. And to talk about that, we have the founder and president right next to me, Elizabeth Vehar. And you brought with you your top participant volunteer, a woman that has been with you side by side throughout this whole genesis of how you started this. Jody Glemza. Welcome, Jody. We're going to hear from you in a little bit, but I'm going to start with Elizabeth because people are wondering, what is Women of God Tampa Bay?
So Women of God Tampa Bay is a women's ministry. We were actually founded in June of 2022 through a story of grief. Actually, I came here from California following my friend. We went through a traumatic experience back home in California. We needed a fresh start. We lost her daughter during COVID. And so when I got here and we were coming out here for a fresh start, the day I got here, I also lost my friend to mental health and suicide. And so that was a very traumatic experience for me, for my family. And God gathered my tears in that season and started having me journal and just kind of process why he called me to Tampa Bay in Florida. I had never been to Florida before. So it was a big leap of faith that he walked me through to get here. And then in my journaling, he said, start a group called Women of God Tampa Bay. And I thought, he didn't give me the whole vision. It was just take that next step for the step that you were on. I'll show you the way. I'll show you the way. And I didn't know anybody here. I had never been to Florida. And so just the people that I did knew, I just started inviting. I didn't know if they were Christian or if they were not. If you were a woman and you were in Tampa Bay, you got an invitation to be in the group. And that's how simple it started on a Facebook group. And from there, we started doing Bible studies in my home. And we started doing fellowship events and serving in our community. And you could just really start seeing the community form, the culture form.
I have to tell you, Elizabeth, just the way this thing just happened organically. I'm always in awe of when somebody's own personal life experience translates into developing a ministry or an organization that helps others. Walking through, and you are absolutely doing that. Now you mentioned, I want to get into a couple of things before we talk about some of your events. You mentioned a couple of areas. I want to make sure our viewers know that they can become part of this. Tell us about the Bible studies, the fellowship side of that. How does that happen and where?
Yeah, so being that I live in the Valrico Fishhawk area, that is kind of where it's been planted and rooted. My home church is Fellowship Church in Fishhawk, but the ladies in our group belong to many different churches or do not have a church that they call home at all. We welcome all women in and around the Tampa Bay area. If they want to get plugged into a Bible study, they can go to our website and find out where we're hosting our Bible studies. We have fellowship events that are all over. We just finished a charcuterie class. We have a pool party coming up, Pumpkin Spice and Jesus Christ. So we have all places that we can bring.
Just say that again.
Pumpkin Spice and Jesus Christ.
That
has been an annual event of ours for about the last 3 years. We do Christmas parties. We do Passover together, and we teach the history of that. But so we do fellowship events. We do outreach, missions, and service in and around the Tampa Bay, but also beyond. So we just sponsored our first child in the Dominican Republic, and we're working on planting our roots in a church there.
Okay, and one of the things you just recently did too was in the month of May, you did a 5K memorial run, and we're showing on the screen a little bit about some of the pictures from that. And that was also benefiting mental health, right?
Yeah.
And in honor of your friends.
Yes.
But you have something coming up. Tell us about Smash. This is a big event coming up in September. What's that?
Yeah, so being that the ministry began with that mental illness and suicide awareness, that's really like a big focus of what we do. So the I Smash event that's coming up in September is going to a place where you can paint, throw, and smash. It's located in the Brandon area, and you can purchase tickets, and it's all inclusive with food and drinks. And the benefiting charities, we actually have 3 benefiting charities. Gray's Academy, which is a clinical counseling center that helps people process through equine therapy. Faith-based fitness also helps people process through mental, physical, and emotional health. Yep, and
CTN's very own.
Yes, yes. And so those will be our benefiting charities for that event coming up in September. So we're super excited about that.
I love that. I don't know if my back would hold up for the smashing, but
you'd be surprised.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. All right, you've been very patient over there, Jody. So now we're getting to you. Jody, you've been here from the beginning. What drew you to Women of God, Tampa Bay?
Elizabeth. She's so amazing. I mean, I started the Bible study, and that's how she started it, in her home. And we did Beth Moore, Chasing Vines. And I will never forget how much I learned from that, because I'm a new Christian. I went away from God for 23 years, and basically an old lady, but a new Christian. And so I've been able to plug into the Bible studies, plug into the serving that we do. We do it at retirement homes. We do crafts with older people. I'm able to plug in with them, and just learning about God and seeing how He's there for me 24/7 is something that I just didn't ever realize. And so I love this mission. I will forever.
And have you seen, when you've been out working, you're doing all these things with different people, are you seeing impact in others too?
Oh yes, and God has grown our little local group in the area from 4 to like 25, and her vision is to go on beyond that. And I've seen people come in, new Christians like me as well. And they have grown in the Lord and learned how to pray out loud in front of everybody, and it's just...
That's a big step. You don't think of that, but that is a big step for
It
people to be
is.
public with their...
Yes.
Well, all right, you just mentioned something. I want to make sure we don't run out of time and we talk about this, Elizabeth. You have big plans. What are some of your future plans? Because we want some of our viewers to hear this that might want to partner with you.
Yeah, so God's vision is really to grow this ministry in North, South, East, and West Tampa Bay area. And so we want to be the hub for women's ministries and churches, church partnerships to come alongside of. So if you already have like an existing group that you just need exposure to, we would love to put you on our website so that when people are looking for a place to connect, they can go to Women of God Tampa Bay and find that local Bible study, in Largo or in St. Pete or in Tampa. And then that way they can connect with, people in their area and get that community and get that plug-in and that sense of family and love that we're all looking for and needing. We need the love of Jesus in our own lives so that that can pour out onto others.
Well, I also think the reverse is true, that if there's a organization or women's group, whatever, could put you guys on their
And vice versa.
website.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Be a link that
Yes.
people could go to, that there's places, multiple areas of community
Absolutely.
to do that. All right, how can our viewers help you right now? What can they do to help to connect and ways that they can help and partner with you?
Yeah, sure. So you can definitely visit our website, right? There's definitely places to plug in there for our upcoming event, like Ice Smash. You can find out more about the 5K there too, which is an annual event. Those are both fundraising events for us personally, and then also for the ministries that we choose. You're welcome to send any prayer requests also there, because we do pray for you, and we've seen that prayer works. And so, just be praying for us too, I think. And if you want to connect, reach out. There is our email address, or you can join our private Facebook group is another way to connect. You just have to be a woman and in Tampa Bay to connect.
Right. You have two Facebook.
We
right?
do. We have the private for women who are in Tampa Bay. And then we have the public, which anybody can go to and follow along with us.
Okay. All right. I just want to commend you both today for being faithful with this ministry, just being there for people. And Elizabeth, what a story! We did the short version today on how this ministry started. But when you and I talked when we were planning this program, I mean, it is truly I don't like to say this loosely. And I don't say it all the time, but it's truly a God thing that this ministry started, because to go from moving across country to all of a sudden the bottom falling out of what you thought you were coming to help alongside friends and everything, that to move out of pain into absolute ministry and victory and moving for people, and that they can get through times like this because you did. And God took it and multiplied it into ministry. It's just an amazing story. I want to encourage our viewers to connect with you. Thank you both for coming on today and sharing with us.
I don't think we won't have a testimony without a test, And
that's a good way. That's a good way to say it.
And he takes our mess and he makes it our message so that we can relate with other people.
How many more of those sayings you got? Right?
I've learned them.
I love those.
I've learned them.
You need
over
to put
time.
them in print.
Yes.
Put them in print. We can share them. All right. Thank you so much.
So
ladies.
thank you for having us. We really appreciate
wonderful having you on the screen. You're going to see again how you can contact Women of God Tampa Bay, and we will be right back with more of Bay Focus. Stay tuned.
From the Gulf Coast to the bustling downtowns, here at Bay Focus, we're highlighting all of the local individuals, community organizations, ministries, and events taking place across Central Florida. Whether we're out on the road or in the studio, tune in to hear about the faith and action happening in your community. Watch Bay Focus with host Darlene Greenlee on Wednesdays and Thursdays on CTN Greater Tampa Bay, or watch on demand at ctnonline.com/bayfocus.
Well, as promised, we are going to talk with a business and life coach today. I'm so interested in hearing more on this combination of both. And we have a gentleman with us today with higher impact business and life coaching, Randy Miller. Welcome.
It's my pleasure.
To Bay Focus. Great to have you.
Been looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have to say, I wouldn't always necessarily put those two together, but you work with so many in different areas. So define for us, first of all, business and life coaching.
Well, if I can broaden it a little in the answer. So for many years, I've been in pastoral ministry. And so I've done a lot of counseling, if you will, from the pastoral side. But some years ago, I began to realize that working with other people, such as business people and others they're not in pain, so to speak, so often we think of counseling as we're finding out something that caused something what we're dealing with today, but it's from our past. Well, coaching kind of starts where you are and
That's good.
affects the field of work that you're in or life in a broad sense. So it could be family, it could be employees, it could be any number of things or people, but most often it's related to relationships.
Well, and I want to step back for just a moment because Randy knows what he's talking about. I like this definition. I think that is a really great definition because I want to give a little bit of his biographical information. He's a seasoned business coach, trainer, and facilitator with a proven track record. You've worked with teams, organizations, and some of those are going to be recognizable to our people, like Shell Oil distribution managers, the U.S. Department of Education. And then you've mentored high-performing teams, a variety of things, particularly from change when they have to make change and transition in there. But you also worked in mortgage banking, sales, land development, church ministry, like you say, and then you're a certified Prepare Enrich marriage coach, too. So you cover a lot of different ground. And what does that actually translate into? When you walk into a situation, where does that start?
So some years ago, I was working in the retail environment, and a friend of mine said, you have this broad background of so many experiences. You've got to translate that. And he was the one who suggested that I look into coaching. And so that's how it kind of translated. It began on a sidewalk, actually, outside of the retail store when he and I were having the conversation. So that began to move me toward the idea of helping people. And it was, having a higher impact. So that's where the name comes from.
Yeah.
Having a higher impact in their lives, whether that would be personal, family, all kinds of relationships, business, profit, So it just covers a lot of different areas. Not sure I've answered the question yet.
Well,
so
no, you
help me
give
with
the
answer.
reason behind it, but what does it translate into when you walk in and you have a potential client, somebody's coming to you, do you meet with them? What's the steps that you take? Like if somebody's watching today, they go, I wonder if I would benefit from his vast knowledge, and if I've got a small business or I've got something I'm trying to grow.
Yeah.
What's the steps that you take them through?
So typically, I offer at least up to 2 hours of complimentary coaching to see if the conversation is a good fit and if we can move from there to whatever their particular need is. And sometimes those needs change during the conversation. So as an example, I know you took a look at the website. There's a position on the website where when she first came to me, she had seen me speak in a church where the pastor was a forward-thinking person and said, hey, can you come in and teach us on goal setting? And so I did. A few months later, she reached out to me, and she went from the transition that she was going through in rising leadership. So she was being called up into a higher level of leadership. While the conversation was going on a few months later, she said, can you help me write a book? So, you never know what's going to come out of the experience with a particular person and client. And so back to the answer is the vast knowledge, if you will, the experience that I've had, some of which I enjoyed, some of which I learned a great deal from, but didn't necessarily enjoy at the time. And I might have even said, Lord, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But today, he often uses that background, that experience in a given moment in conversation to help someone see a different perspective, And,
Well, what I'm hearing you say too on a level is when you sit down and meet with somebody, and I do want to encourage you to go to the website. There's some really great testimonials on there. When you meet with somebody, you're going to sit down and listen to and potentially customize what their needs are, or
Absolutely.
you see what they are, so you can do a lot of listening at first.
Absolutely. So James 1:19 says, be quick or quickened to listen, slow to speak, and don't let your emotions drive the conversation or the situation. So be in the moment, and that's what I try to try to be. I try to be in the moment, listening well, listening for key, you might call them keystone moments. You know, what does an emotion hang on? What are they resistant to something? Are they, not doing something they should do? Have they said yes to something they now need to say no to? Or have they said no to something because they were afraid, and so now they need to say yes to it in order to move forward? So there's a lot of those dynamics that are going on through the conversation, but I love listening. I've been in ministry and teaching for a long time. I traveled, as you mentioned, I traveled as a business trainer with a training organization. So I've been in front of the room doing the talking, but I love to sit and listen. Yeah, I love to sit and listen and help that person process over the thresholds that they need to cross. Sometimes the thresholds are pretty high. Other times the threshold is pretty low. So,
well, and I would think you would take a look, like if it's a business, you would take a look at what are some of the realistic goals that they could start with. Where can they start now and lead to this? You don't want to over expand or overdo, as well. So again, that's where your knowledge comes in. But I'm also curious about this other side of what you do. And Randy is it's called a certified Prepare Enrich marriage coach.
Yes.
Explain that long title. Explain it what that is.
Not just a certified coach, but also I do certified training, so I can train coaches as well in the system. Over 4 million couples have taken this survey, if you will, that's provided by Prepare Enrich. So it's a phenomenal survey. Typically, I get about a 25-page readout from what they've answered. They get a report as well, and then I can use the information that they've given me through the survey. But I'm also listening for Holy Spirit to speak to me and say, ask this question. How about that question? Or, pay close attention to the way they answered this or that. And one time I can tell you, it was a mere eye movement. Someone who just kind of looked up and away. And I thought, what was that about? And that opened the door for additional information. And it helped tell a story that they needed to say, but they had not said it yet in their relationship.
Wow.
And so you have to really pay close attention.
You're reading body language too.
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
reading, just see what they're reacting to.
Yeah.
I love that. And you mentioned earlier in the interview that it's part of what this coaching is different from counseling, and that they're starting people where they are right now. We're not going to delve back into childhood issues. That's probably for a different type of
Yes, it is.
therapy or whatever.
Yes.
That's not where you're at now with coaching. It's a different thing. Okay. So now moving forward, how I want you to define something. There's a quote on your website, and we're wrapping up the interview here in the next few minutes. But it's such a cool thing. Right at the top of the website, you say, if you could change one thing in your life today, what would that be? Why is that important for you to put that out there?
It applies to so many different things in people when they read that. If they're a business owner, as an example, they might be thinking, my net profits are down. How do I resolve this? If I'm not getting the leads I need, how do I resolve this? It could be a business owner that I'm sitting and talking with, and they answer the question, wow, I've got a teenager that I really am having trouble with, or we're having some relationship challenges in my home, and that affects our business. We work in partnership, or maybe they're in a partnership with someone else, and it's affecting the partnership. So the answer to the question, I never know where the answer is going to take me and take me with them. But it
could be personal,
really
it could be professional.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Had one person say, I'm looking to develop a new career, I need to reinvent myself. And so their answer to the question was very different than most other answers to that same question. So the question can be answered in a lot of different ways.
Is that the starting point for you when you sit down with them? Is that kind of like
Actually, in some ways it is. It definitely is. When I'm dealing with maybe a prospect, someone who's not become a client yet, that helps to open what I call a 3-year conversation. In fact, one person one time said, that's a time travel conversation, isn't it? And I said, well, what do you mean?
Oh, that's good.
What do you mean by that? And they said, well, I asked them, what does life look like for you 3 years from now? Not 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, just 3 years from now. What does life look like? And tell me as if you're living in it, not something that you're headed toward, not goals about it, but you're living in it. I want you to look around and see what it looks like and tell me about it. And so that was part of the answer to that question. And then it evolves and it unfolds into a whole variety
if you're looking,
of things.
okay, so if that's where you want to be 3 years from now, what can we do now? What are we doing now to get there? Yeah. All right. So this is so fascinating to me. But let's tell our viewers how they can connect with you.
Well, they
what
can
is
go
the best way they can get
St.
with you?
Petersburg FL and business coaching, and you can connect with me there at the .com. So St. Petersburg FL.
So you're locally here.
businesscoach.com.
Do you have clients beyond the Bay
Oh,
Area?
absolutely. I've coached people in Brussels and South Africa, all across the U.S., in a lot of different places,
Okay, so if you're watching you can, and you've got people even out of state that you think might benefit from Randy's expertise, you're going to want to contact him. And Randy, thank you so much
My
for being
pleasure.
on today.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to put on the screen again how you can reach him. And I think you've really gotten the overview of how he really makes this about God leading him too. He's a Christian businessman, works with Christians and non-Christians in this. But God leads him, and there are biblical foundations to what he does. So stay tuned on the screen. Here's the information for Randy Miller and his business and life coaching.
We want to hear from you. Is there an event happening in the Tampa Bay area or an organization helping the local community? If you have answers, let us know. Email us at darleneg@ctnonline.com. Find us online at ctnonline.com/BayFocus or follow us on Facebook at BayFocus TV.
Well, I know you've enjoyed meeting our guests today, the women that were here for Women of God Tampa Bay. I hope you will connect with them. What a great women's ministry. And then I want to thank Randy Miller as well with Higher Impact Business and Life Coaching. Boy, I learned so much just talking with him today. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're seeing on the screen how you can reach me. I hope to hear from you. May God richly bless you. Have a wonderful week ahead.